As you can tell by that sound, it's time for the music news. Mari, what is going on in the world of entertainment?
Okay, so Pantera.
Yes, they're doing a tour here with Metallica and been doing a tour with the new revised lineup. Zach Wilde is in the band, and of course, they're doing their legendary catalog. But they did something pretty cool the other day, did they not?
Well, they may or may not be recording for a first release with the band's reform lineup for a new album.
Yeah, there's a couple cool things about this tidbit, okay? One, there's speculation that they're doing this live album. Now, they've done a live album before, in 98. And they're not doing any new music by Pantera because they don't have Dimebag. So, I think Zach Wilde doesn't even want to do new music with the band out of respect. Okay, but here's another close connection to the show. We had comedian Craig Gass on for a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
He was there at the show introducing Pantera and the live record, and he had to actually make the stage announcements to everyone because it was somewhat of a secret show. There was speculation that it was going to be Pantera performing at this club in Minnesota, but it was initially billed as Cowboys from Hell.
Right.
And then Craig Gass came out to let the cat out of the bag. Here's Craig in front of this crowd.
Announcement number one. The band you are seeing tonight is not called Cowboys from Hell. You are about to watch an exclusive show from the band Pantera. The rumors got out quickly. You guys bought up all the tickets. And you may have heard this rumor, and this is also true. We are recording our first ever live album right here in the
Now, Craig Gass, of course, Tucson native, right? Comedian. Where he was on the show for basically like a week straight here, just a couple months ago. But how he's tied into all these huge rock bands and just legends, it's insane. It really is. Yeah, like it really makes zero sense beyond the fact that Craig is actually just like, hey, he's a cool guy and good to be around. But he has been adopted by the metal community as the go-to metal comedian.
Wow.
And by no means is he all just like super hardcore, like black painted nails, none of that, right? He's just regular dude that are just like, hey, we need a funny man to make some announcements for our live show. Craig, what are you doing? Come on out to Minnesota, man. What? And I'm sure he's doing something with Metallica, but that was the Tucson connection for that. All right, what else is going on in music news here?
I'm kind of surprised by this, honestly. Coldplay sets record for largest rock music tour ever.
I don't know anyone who went to a Coldplay show in the last 2 years. So that's insane. So good for them. That doesn't mean they sold the most tickets. It just means they charged the most money to go to a Coldplay show. If they're grossing that, no?
Do I know how much they're grossing?
Yeah.
An insane $945.7 million.
Right. So which band charges their fans the most? I think that answer is Coldplay.
Oh, yeah. If you're in the rock sphere.
Absolutely. So that's like, great. You got that record for being the greediest, band in the industry.
It's crazy, though. They passed Elton John's Farewell Yellow Brick Road tour.
Right.
I mean, that's just nuts.
They are not selling more tickets than Taylor Swift, but they're breaking records, meaning they're charging more than Taylor Swift.
They still trail behind U2 and the Rolling Stones in overall career tour earnings.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm not a fan.
Well, they're releasing new music, so that's an album set to release on October, Moon Music, along with a couple other bands.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on. Let me put that in my Google Calendar.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so what other bands are releasing new music?
Live.
Okay, yes, that was my first rock show I ever been to.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll hear it here on the station. Anyone else?
Blink-182 is going to release One More Time Part 2.
Okay, how many new songs are they releasing with Part 2?
The deluxe edition of last year's 8 new songs.
Okay, that's crazy though. Yeah, how many times are they going to do One More Time? They already did the One More Time tour, and they've been on that now 2 different legs through Arizona.
Yeah.
They haven't hit Tucson. They're going to be doing One More Time Part 17 here before we know it.
I love it. If they could come to Tucson, not Phoenix, that would be lovely.
Yeah, don't hold your breath on that. But still, all right, that was music news. We're going to hit the reset. When we come back, we'll have another round of F My Lifes, and Rocco from Rocco's Little Chicago just came in studio, so we'll reveal the pizza of the month and give you an opportunity to win up to $100 gift certificates to that fine establishment with another round of tap out. All that and more. So stick around. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, now we are live here on the podcast broadcast as we're hanging out with Chef Anthony from Obon, and I'm hoping all my audio levels are good. Todd, give me a rundown of what you're hearing. Any kind of feedback would be appreciated. Good morning, Mari.
Good morning.
And good morning, Chef Anthony. You guys are catching up, and Chef Anthony's getting his ass kicked with kids coming back, students coming back from U of A, and all their parents over at Obon, so it's super busy. I was out last night at Night Fight at Corbett's, and it was busy too. Beyond Night Fight, you just there was a bunch of people there, and I was like, "This is a Monday night, man." Oh yeah, kids coming back, parents taking out the fancy dinners.
Move-in week is definitely
all the California kids. And you're like, so let me go show you the finest places Tucson has to offer. So that's great for the economy. And terrible though when you have to wake up super early and do a radio tour, huh?
No, it's not too bad. I might have a little time to go take a nap. But
all right, that's good. Yeah. We'll power through. We're going to do another segment for you on the air and talk about your approach for Meet the Chefs, which is a big deal. Have you done a cooking competition like this before?
No, I've never done a cooking competition.
This is it's on. The pressure is on, which is going to be good. And so obviously your forte is sushi, right? And into that Japanese cuisine. Have you cooked beyond the Eastern Asian delicacies and whatnot?
So I started off in the kitchen. Definitely, the grill is where I love. Even twice a week on my days off, I usually grill or smoke something. Yeah, that's my passion outside of sushi.
Nice.
But I was cooking hot food before I was ever a sushi chef, and then sushi just took me away from the kitchen because, well, not necessarily took me away, but it's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
There's a lot more. I don't even know how to say it. There's like accountability, but also there's a lot more creative freedom with sushi. When it comes to cooking on the line, there's finesse.
Right.
Just banging out the same thing over and over again. With sushi, it's a lot different. Your skill is shown with every plate.
Yes.
Your signature is on every plate, essentially. From your knife cuts to your presentation, just in general, and building stuff. Because sushi is definitely an art form.
Oh yeah.
And it's built to be eaten in a certain way. So each thing is definitely built for you to eat.
Yeah, dude. Well, presentation is key, and we're going to talk about that as well here. Let's get on the air. So we're going back and forth on the podcast. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're continuing our conversation with Chef Anthony from Obon, and we're going to be talking about Meet the Chef, which is happening this Sunday at the TCC. Tickets still available at KFMA.com. Only $25, and you're going to eat a bunch of the great food that is being submitted by our chefs to potentially move on to be a finalist in the Iron Chef competition to face our two-time reigning defending champion, Chef Kenneth Foy of Dante's Fire. We're going to be looking down the menu at Obon here with Chef Anthony, talk about the latest trends in art that is sushi and what he's bringing to the table this Sunday on the podcast broadcast, and have more with him after new music from Sleep Theory. You can join us visually, youtube.com/bevegan, or keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. There you go, the teasing, and whenever I pull up pictures of food, I'm such a fat kid, dude. I start drooling and talking, right? And I'm gonna get to that. Here, real quick, as a palate cleanser, I did promise to show the video of this clip I played earlier this morning. It's the Michelada song. This is a very Tucson song. You grew up in Tucson.
Definitely.
Yeah, so born and raised.
Yes.
And so is Mari, and so you guys are vibing on that. I came across this while I was mindlessly scrolling on the internet, and it screamed Tucson to me. It screamed Arizona. It's called Michelada, and you'll see why. So we're going to start off with this lovely screenshot right here, right? And this song is a banger, okay? And if you don't believe me, check it out.
I got stuck with the ugliest hood rat at the party. Oh well, I'm hella faded. What's up, Aina? You look like I need a drink. Give me one michelada, I'ma suck on her toes. Give me 2 micheladas, give her huevos to hold. Give me 3 micheladas, we'll be dancing bachata. On the 4th michelada, I'll be eating her nalgas. 5 micheladas, 6 micheladas. One more drink and she might be my future baby mama. Give me 7 micheladas, now she look like a snack. Give me 8 micheladas, tat her name on my back. Give me 9 micheladas, she'll get spanked with the chancla. On the 10th michelada, back to eating her nalgas. 11 micheladas, 12 micheladas. One more drink and we might have a wedding in Tijuana. Give me 13 micheladas, we'll be robbing a store. Give me 14 micheladas, cops kicking my door. Give me 15 micheladas, now I'm sitting in jail. But I snuck a michelada right inside of my tail. My last michelada, ya no queda nada. I'm breaking out of prison, let's go get more micheladas. Woo! Hey, they got my picture in every 7-Eleven, dog. I took all their micheladas, homie. Don't snitch. Anyways, has anyone seen my future ex-wife? She was at the party looking hella fine.
There she is. So was that Lil Moco Fu is the name? Yeah, Lil Moco Fu. You gotta check him out, and shout out to them for that Michelada song, which I just played without warning on the radio. I just squeezed it in.
No warning.
So I was getting calls like, "What the hell was that?" I'm like, that's the Michelada song. What are you talking about?
I know. I heard it.
Don't act like you don't have a primo that totally is rocking out to that song. We're like exactly the same way. So Todd, I'll try to work on that afterwards, but he's saying ox up, StreamYard down, which sounds sexual, but it's not. All right, we're getting ready for this. 25 seconds, and we're going to hype up the Meet the Chefs and talk about, what we're bringing to the table and whatnot. Do you want to reveal what your offering is going to be on Sunday? Or a lot of people chefs kind of keep that close to the vest, right? Like they don't want to.
They do. But I'm not.
Yeah. You'll tell us?
I've already,
nice.
I've done it on the 3 previous shows to this one. So
all right, good. Yeah.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, don't give exclusives to everybody else and not us. Welcome back to the show. We're live on the podcast broadcast with Chef Anthony from Oban, who's a part of the Meet the Chefs competition this Sunday at the TCC. And as you know, as a guest of the Meet the Chef competition, you'll be able to try all this great food that our chefs are submitting to our judges to potentially move on to the next round, the finals of the Iron Chef competition, which is an annual cooking competition here in town. And Chef Anthony from Oban is going to have a food offering as well. So what are you making to present to the judges this Sunday?
So what I'm going to be making is a dish that I created while I was working at Downtown Kitchen with Chef Janos. It was during our seasonal summer menus when we were switching to a different city throughout the world. When I first got hired there, the first menu was Rocco, Japan.
Ooh.
So it was kind of planned, but it was cool. And one of those dishes that I did was a hamachi crudo, which is yellowtail.
Oh.
To give it the full Tucson vibe, we went with a prickly pear ponzu.
Nice.
And I cured the hamachi in hibiscus and a little bit of salt and sugar to give it, number one, the flavor, but the purple ring on the outside of the fish, too, as well. And then we did some candied jalapenos and Tucson furikake, which is going to be pepitas, toasted sesame seeds, nori, a little bit of MSG, and some chili tabin for a kick.
Nice.
And then some shiso on top as well. It is a little bit different iteration of what I did then, just because prepping 600 bites for
Yes,
that many people is going to be definitely a daunting task. But
that's a lot. You should make 601 because I want 2.
Yeah. I got to bring 600 and some because we got judges to feed too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the advantages that you have going into this competition as well is from being a sushi chef, and you're talking about how, the culinary art of it, plating and presentation is such a big part of being a sushi chef. That actually translates in this competition. We had Chef Gary from El Charro, Charro Chico, all the Charros, in studio. He's one of the chefs, and he talks about how presentation is something that he looks for, first and foremost, right? You want to see how it's plated and everything else. And that, again, when you look through the entire menu of Oban and stuff that they have, every little plate is a culinary work of art. It is beautiful, first and foremost, before you even have it. And everything is almost like symmetrically laid out. And,
we try to build bites.
You build in bites. Yeah, which it was crazy because I eat plates just like just full mouthfuls, but you should be taking individual bites, right?
Yeah, and I'm kind of OCD when I eat, even if it's a normal plate of food. I try and grab one of everything,
Yeah.
build it on my
Yes.
fork, and then eat. So
Ditto.
it translates definitely with my sushi.
Really is.
Just building bites for people.
Nice. So it basically skips them the process of building it on their fork.
Yeah,
You're building it for them. Yeah. So, and then you're able to do this in a quicker pace because obviously being a chef and a lot of burn and turn, you obviously got to push out those plates fast. But you're working on individual little portraits per bite. Like that seems super time consuming. Like you're gonna wait like 3 hours for sushi.
Not necessarily 3 hours, but we definitely have a wait time a little bit for our sushi, just in general, because there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of components in the builds, and we definitely want to make sure that it looks right.
Yeah. Now you've been in the kitchen for how many years now?
Coming up on 12 years total.
Nice, 12 years. So you already put in your 10,000 hours and then some.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Yeah, if you were going into the Iron Chef competition, it's all about the secret ingredient, right? So are you ready for the secret ingredient level of being able to take something and then create an entire menu out of it?
I definitely think so. Like I said, we're always learning, and there's definitely much more to learn, but I think I definitely have enough tools in my wheelhouse to be able to create something really dope.
What if you think what would be your ideal secret ingredient that you're just like, oh, I could go to town on this for days?
I never really thought about that. I kind of I do better under pressure, so I do. Even in school, I used to procrastinate till the night before for projects because it was crunch time. Me and my mom definitely thrive in that. So I do I like to be able to control things, but at the same time, I like not having control over certain stuff so that it's just off the cuff.
That's the artist mentality there too, So that's great. And that makes a lot of sense too. Creatives and procrastinators in general are the type of creators that thrive under this pressure and be able to build this kind of stuff. So on the Oban menu, are you constantly adding contributions? And then for not only the Tucson location but the Scottsdale location and everything else, where they're just like, you know what, chef, that is a fantastic plate. We're gonna steal it.
Yeah, definitely. This last menu change, it had a couple additions. This upcoming one in October will definitely have a lot more of my flair to it for sure. Have a couple stuff in the works because we've been thinking about this menu change since the last one.
Right.
Once the new menu rolls out, we're already planning for the next one.
That's funny.
So yeah, we'll definitely have some really cool stuff roll in this winter. But also Sonoran Restaurant Week, we'll have some featured items too as well because we're participating in that. The birria ramen, I know it's a big trend right now, not only in Tucson but all over the states.
I feel like it started in Tucson and it just kind of went everywhere.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But I can tell you for a fact ours is not going to be a cup ramen. It will be done right. No dissing to any of the ones that are in Tucson, but I'm just gonna say that.
I'm not just gonna take that cup of ramen, throw some birria in it, and call it
It's not gonna
cuisine.
be your standard Maruchan.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I love those. I grew up eating it. But
Yeah.
in Oban fashion, we're gonna step it up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Oban is located downtown, right there off of Congress, right?
Yep. In that little busy corner right there.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful menu, constantly evolving. We talked about crispy rice being the latest trend. And that's something I haven't even had yet.
No.
But yeah, the crispy rice part of the menu looks delicious with the spicy tuna, spicy salmon, scallops, or even
the trio is
sampler.
definitely one of our busiest. Not busiest. One of our most popular.
You got to, because when you're sitting there, you're looking at crispy rice, and essentially that's just the foundation, and then you have this great, fish on top of it. You have to go for the trio, right? You can't just say, I'm just going to do the spicy tuna, because you don't know which one's going to be the best, so you have to try them all. I'm a sampler guy, unfortunately. It gets me in a lot of trouble. So good. What's your favorite thing on this menu today?
My favorite thing, I know it's a little biased because it was one of the first things I got on Oban's menu, but the salmon asparagus roll.
Salmon asparagus roll. Yeah. Break that down. So, is it the salmon and asparagus under the sushi bar for the signature rolls?
Yes.
Yes.
So
see
that
right
is
there.
the roll.
Okay.
So on the inside, it's going to be spicy crab, avocado, and tempura asparagus.
Oh,
And then
nice. Yes.
close that up, top it with fresh salmon and thinly sliced lemon.
Ooh.
And then we plate it, and then we put a little bit of eel sauce, fresh tempura crispies on top, and then a little bit of crispy garlic as well. So it hits all the points. It's crunchy, it's sweet, it's spicy, a little bit of tang, and then some acid to level it all out.
Yeah, yeah, a little acidic too. That's amazing. So yeah, that's something you were able to get on the menu, and not only here in the Tucson location, but they adopted that recipe at the other locations.
They are running it at the Scottsdale Quarter location, McCormick, not right now.
Yeah.
But McCormick will be being up to speed on, I'm assuming, this next menu change.
Yeah, you gotta love it though when your baby's on the menu.
Yeah,
You're like,
no,
I got this
definitely.
idea. Yeah.
And then
That's
the
a good
crispy
baby.
trio is one of mine too, but that one, it's a love-hate relationship with that one. It's a lot to build,
Right.
but we sell the hell out of them.
Yes.
Even all my guys at work are like, "Why didn't we do the crispy rice?" And
Why
I'm
did
like,
you do this?
We
Yeah.
sell them, but like, yes,
It's like Frankenstein. You created a monster, dude.
yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. You're like, you know, it'd be a good idea. And we have something that's super hard to do and duplicate and make
be
it
the
so
most popular, yeah.
It's non-stop. Yes. Maybe it'll be seasonal eventually, so you need to get those crispy cakes while they still are willing to serve them over at Oban. Well, Chef Anthony, I wish you the best of luck coming into this
definitely. Thank
Sunday.
you.
The Meet the Chefs event is going to be a fantastic event for foodies. They just enjoy the culinary arts, and I appreciate your contribution. And hopefully, we'll see you at Iron Chef as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys.
I dig it. So don't forget to check out Oban. And again, you can check out their entire beautiful menu with pictures and everything that they have going on at obansushi.com. Just click on the Tucson food location, and you'll be able to get the current menu there today. And definitely check out that crispy rice, but do it during a slow time. Help them out, right? if it's slammed, let's skip the crispy
Not
rice.
7:30 on a Friday night. But you come in for lunch, I got you.
Get those tickets today at KFMA.com so you can meet the chefs. We're going to hit the reset, be back with more music on the way from Chevelle and Smashing Pumpkins on Rock 102.1. Excellent. Thank you so much, my friend. That was good. That's going to be a good time. We'll hit the reset here. And yesterday we talked about the top 5 X-Men movies. In case you missed it, a little something like this. The nerd, and I know this sometimes, I'll geek out on certain things, and because I watched the recent Deadpool and Wolverine movie, I'm really into the X-Men universe right now, right? So like last night, I flipped on the old Disney Plus, and they have the X-Men collection. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I want to watch an old school X-Men film, kind of go down the rabbit hole. Let's keep in mind that X-Men, beyond Batman, right? Like the X-Men movies were the kind of kickoff to the Marvel universe.
Right.
They had some really good ones, but they put out a lot, and they had some really bad ones. And I wanted to avoid watching a really bad one. So, I was like, you know what I want to do? I want to go to utilize AI and start putting together like a top 5. What are some of the best X-Men movies that I could watch according to critic reviews and obviously audience reviews? Take all those stats and break down the top 5 best X-Men movies of all time for me. And it did. And I have a list for you. Okay, so if you were looking to go down the X-Men rabbit hole as well and binge watch some X-Men movies this week because you still got Deadpool fever, you could start off with the number 5, the original X-Men, which came out in 2000. This original film that set the tone for superhero genre, and it's appreciated for its groundbreaking impact. So that's the 5th best X-Men movie of all time.
Hugh Jackman's first outing.
Yes.
Yeah.
A young Hugh Jackman, which is a trip to watch, too. When you look at
Cage
these
fighting in Canada.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, dude. So that's number 5, X-Men. The number 4, the 4th best X-Men film is actually X-Men First Class, which came out in 2011. 11 years after the initial debut. It was well received for a fresh take on the origin story with a strong cast, which they literally had everybody in that movie. So X-Men
That was
First
the one with
Class.
that Quicksilver scene, I think.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yep. So the number 3 X-Men film of all time, according to this, is X2, X-Men United.
Yeah.
Okay, so this came out in 2003. It's a strong sequel noted for its darker tone and character development. And actually, I started watching this one last night. And it
It's
is
a good
super
one.
dark. Yeah, that starts off with Nightcrawler,
Nightcrawler in the White
trying
House.
to assassinate the president. That's an iconic scene. So, and Alan Cummings, before he got all super like weird and awesome, to be honest with you. But, young Alan Cummings was great to watch as Nightcrawler in that. So that's the bottom 3 of the top 5. So number 2 of the top 5 X-Men films of all time. Again, this is according to critics and the audience score combined. X-Men Days of Future Past. Now, this movie came out in 2014. So, again, 14 years after the original debut, as they continue to go dip into the X-Men universe. This was praised for its complex storyline, blending cast from the original and prequel films, which I thought was really cool at the time when it came out.
It was kind of doing the time jump thing before they became like the Marvel staple.
Yes. Yeah, and you had old Magneto, young Magneto, and all those characters, right? And together. So, it's at times a difficult film to follow, but super, it pays off once you follow that, right? And so if you were looking at the entire X-Men catalog of films, then what would be the number 1 greatest X-Men film of all time? Well, it was, stated as such in Deadpool and Wolverine and mentioned several times. Talking about the 2017 movie Logan.
Yes.
Yes, universally acclaimed for its depth, emotional weight, and standout performances. In fact, I think it was the only film nominated for an Academy Award from X-Men for Best Adapted Screenplay, which is a rare honor for a superhero film. It happens, but it's rare. And this is the best film according to critics. It was directed by James Mangold and is widely praised for its mature storytelling, character depth, and strong performances, especially by Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. And the film deviates from the typical superhero formula, offering a darker, more introspective take on the genre. And it's celebrated for its emotional impact. And again,
Yeah, it was
nominated.
heavy and dark, man. It was
Hell yeah.
a great movie.
And even Deadpool celebrates it.
In many, many ways.
Many ways. And that's not a spoiler. You've probably seen it already by now. So there you go. Your top 5 X-Men films. If you're going to go down and binge this weekend, start off with the original X-Men, work your way up, and you do X-Men First Class, X2, X-Men Days of Future Past, and then wrap it up with a bow with Logan, and you should be satisfied completely.
Get to it, nerds.
Yeah. Speaking of get-toing things, we're going to get to some commercials. Be back with our Iron Chef contestant right after this. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Oh. Yeah, keeping it flowing. Yeah, look at this flow. All right, we got Spearsy joining us too. Justice Spears, eating some of that Rocco's pizza. Now, I was telling Spears, so tomorrow morning, we're going to have Vertica Fitness in studio again. We had the owner on via satellite, but she said the last time I talked to her, when we had Chloe in studio, she was telling me about the pole dancing business that they run, right? It's essentially a gym. Okay, it's a gym for body positivity that takes the athleticism and the art of pole dancing and incorporates that into a class, and then it turned into basically an exotic arts or just an art form like gymnastics. And so they have these nationwide competitions. Excuse me, I got pizza on my breath.
Me too.
They have these nationwide competitions, right? And this year, the nationwide competition is here in Tucson.
How about that?
Yeah, and they are the big sponsor behind it, and so they're very excited about it, as they should be, and I'm excited about it because obviously it's Tucson, and it's pole dancing. So those are two things that I love the most. Let's see, I'll show you. Here's an example.
It's so hard to do too. I did classes, and it takes some skill, real
Right?
skill.
Yeah, you did classes.
I did.
Yeah, body positivity. It's like all body types are welcome. I think this is part of.
You get me on one of those poles, I look like a rotisserie chicken.
Yeah, but you know what? They'll have us do it. So yeah, it's the USPSF National Championship that is happening. So not only is it the full blown pole dancing, but you see they have the different ropes, and it is. Obviously, there's, beautiful women, but there's definitely gymnastics and art and performance that it's all involved. Like this kind of stuff, Cirque du Soleil type stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, it's those kind of competitions. So it is fascinating and wildly entertaining to watch. And it's not just like, lap dances and, boners. That's initially, I proposed having her go into Rob and Joss as well. And I had to explain to them, no. The stigma of pole dancing, I get it, right? You want to go giggity. But it's not that. It's more than that. And yes,
It's an art form.
yeah, it absolutely is an art form, and it's being celebrated as such for communities all over the country. And you're seeing these girls; they obviously have clothes on, and they're obviously being athletic and artistic. So that's the type of the deal. There's a clip of me interviewing and asking all the questions. So with Katrina is the owner, and here's another cool story that streamers know because we had this discussion with Katrina on the air. She started Vertica Fitness here in Tucson, and Vertica Fitness is quickly expanding all over the country with gyms popping up in locations. So it's one of those kind of stories of a local business gone good and, just blowing up and, attempting to be a national brand. So this is like kind of a hipster moment as well. I like to do this with bands that have promise and of being like, oh, yeah, they're going to be the next big band. This could literally be the next big brand. Katrina's doing very well for herself. So I was like, yeah, come on in. We'll talk about it, hype it up tomorrow morning. That's going to happen. I'll put her on your show because it's a sport.
It is.
It is a sport. And, and then we'll try to erase the stigma. It's Rocco on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. So did I sell you, Spears?
Yeah, I'm sold.
All right, good. Yeah,
It's like an Olympic sport, kind of.
it is 100%, and it will be. Look, they decided breakdancing was not it,
Nope.
right? But pole dancing could definitely be the next dancing competition that will be utilized in the Olympic sports because pole dancing is a global art form. Right? And they're all over the place, but then they've learned over the years that not only does it take a certain kind of athleticism, but there is creativity and arts behind it. So you think gymnastics with the ability to have the strength to be able to daredevil and like dangle and be up in the air. I mean, you're basically, it's a circus act, like a trapeze act without a safety net. So things can go catastrophically wrong. That's part of the excitement. You don't want them to go wrong, but in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, it could go wrong. So, you're at the edge of the seat. So we have a national pole dancing competition that's happening in Tucson on Friday.
How about that?
I know.
Are you going to be a judge?
I might be a judge, dude.
Oh.
But at the same time, I shouldn't be a judge because,
Everybody gets tens?
yeah, everyone gets
Fell
10.
off with 10.
Yeah, I wouldn't be judging based off the art form. I'd be judging based on how much I fall in love with whoever the competitor is. So I understand that I am not the right person to be a judge, but I think I will be a guest. So it's something I definitely would want to witness. So it'd be a fun time.
Yeah. And silks with those what do you call those things? That's
silk
called
ropes?
silks.
Oh, it's called silks?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
really
you've
hard
done
to do. I did silks too.
You did silks too. So yeah, Mari actually did the pole dancing fitness before. Was it at Vertica?
No.
It was a different
somewhere
one, yeah.
else. But I want to go to Vertica really bad.
Yeah, Vertica is, like I said, they're quickly expanding and blowing up. And you learned the hard way that it is a very difficult thing to do, huh?
Oh, it is so hard. Like
Right.
it takes so much coordination and strength and even to get up on that pole to get to the top,
Yeah.
difficult.
No, I know. I can't even imagine just as a dude. I can't climb like a fire pole. And they do that, and then they hang upside down
yeah,
and
they
hold themselves
twist.
up. Yeah, and then start doing the arts and performing. That's impressive. It's
hard.
impressive. Yeah. So it's more than just erotic arts. So that's what we're going to be discovering and diving deep into. And you guys can go witness this for yourself because that's happening this Friday. And I believe they still have tickets available. We'll find out tomorrow.
Erotic arts, huh?
Well, that's what I initially called. They don't.
I'll say whole new meeting to EA Sports.
Yeah,
How about
yeah,
that?
yeah.
It's in the game.
It's
what
in
does
the
that actually
game.
start for? EA.
Electronic arts.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not as cool.
Nope.
I like erotic arts better.
No, I like it too.
You never heard erotic arts before?
No.
No, I mean that's a genre. We just had the fetish ball here in Tucson too. I didn't get to go to it, but there's a lot to different lifestyles. And it's amazing. And a lot of it, obviously for normies who are inside a box might be a little like culture shockish. But a lot of it, the more that you learn about it, you understand, the motivation behind it. And you could see the beauty behind certain people's lifestyles. And it really comes down to art and creativity. It really does. And not just boners and the end game. Yeah. I'm just trying to keep people open-minded.
Yeah.
Yeah. Spears looks like a missionary guy, but I'm telling you, there's a lot more to this world than just that, you know? There is.
Every joke has a little truth to it.
But you're still young. You're still young. Yeah,
So
most
young.
people don't fly their freak flag until they're in their 40s.
You think 40s?
Yeah,
40s
yeah.
is it?
Yeah, you know why? Because you kind of like, you get through the level of excitement of the beginning and all the normie stuff.
Okay.
And then you get so desensitized to it, you're like, I need to step this up. I'm
Yeah.
not feeling alive. So what can I do to feel alive? And they're like, oh, I got an idea. Kick me in the groin and call me dirty. I feel so alive. You never know. I mean, to each his own. And I wasn't revealing my own kinks.
Oh,
I was
no,
just
no.
giving an example.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. I do have an educational thing I want to talk to you guys about real quick. I actually put this piece together. Now, this thing kind of makes me upset, and you guys should be mad too. Okay, so there's a rundown of the world's wealthiest people. Forbes is doing this in a real time rundown. Now, Forbes magazine has been tracking the wealthiest people on the planet for decades. In 1982, it started reporting the 400 richest Americans with the Forbes 400, and they've been following the world's billionaires since 1987. Now, according to Forbes' real-time billionaire list, which just came out, we have a new richest person in the world, and it kind of goes back and forth between these two. But Elon Musk tops the list.
Right.
Okay? The founder of SpaceX, the CEO of Tesla, and the owner of Twitter has a net worth of $222 billion. Yes, damn is right. And this is why you should be mad, okay? Because our billionaires are richer than they've ever been before, and they've done it in such a fast pace. And I'll give you an example of that. Now, second place on the billionaire list is Jeff Bezos, $186 billion. Yeah, Zuckerberg, he started Facebook. He's third on the list with $184 billion. That's his net worth according to the real-time billionaire list. This got me curious. I'm like, okay, if that's the richest billionaires today in 2024, what was the estimated net worth of the 10 richest Americans in 2000, in the year 2000? Well, the richest person in the year 2000 was Bill Gates, owner of Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
He had a net worth of $63 billion. That was 24 years ago.
Wow.
Now, again, you can think of inflation, people are rolling over, making investments. So I'm like, well, 20 years ago, maybe that's not the best way to kind of judge it. So I said, what about 10 years ago? 10 years ago, Bill Gates was still the richest person with an estimated net worth of $81 billion. So he went from 2000 to 2014, Bill Gates' net worth only increased about $20 billion, less than $20 billion. It's like $16 billion, right?
Yeah.
That's a normal kind of rate of stacking wealth,
Right.
Sure.
right? But then I was like, okay, what about in 2019? 5 years ago. 5 years ago, what was the richest billionaire in America, and what was their net worth? Well, that was Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon. He had a net worth of $114 billion. $114 billion, and in less than 5 years, almost doubled his net worth. The problem I have for this is within these 5 years, the American people in general, all right, have not had wage increases, but price has gone up for everything, right? Yeah. So our cost increases everything. Our rent is out of control, all this stuff. But the net worth of billionaires is rapidly increasing at a record-breaking pace. And this is a problem that needs to be addressed, but it's a problem that I don't have an answer for. I'm just kind of pointing out the obvious because this is all just public numbers, right? Yeah. And this is something that you should be mad about as well. Within 5 years, since 2019, now it was tax breaks. Now these guys are making more stupid money than they even ever deserve. And in the meantime, people are getting poorer and poorer and the middle class is evaporating. It's not like a political thing. This is just basically a quality of life thing. It's like,
what would you do if you had all that money?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be generous. So I don't blame them for not being generous. I would say, F you guys, I'm out.
I would start a pole dancing league
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
and take it on tour. And come to Tucson, Arizona.
A touring. Well, that's good. Yeah, I would invest in things that would lose money as well. It doesn't matter. Show up or not.
Bezos, Amazon also has football too. They've added that in the last few years.
Really?
Yeah.
Thursday night football broadcast.
Thursday Night Football. They also, Amazon bought out the NBA, or at least made it to a point where, TNT had to pay an outrageous amount of money just to air some of these things because they can't even compete. They can't compete with the unlimited cash flow that they're generating now. And the top 5 of these, or the billionaires that we have today, we had Zuckerberg, and then we had the Bernard Arnault family, and then Larry Ellison. That's top 5. So, Bill Gates is actually number 8 on the list.
Damn.
So, yeah, he's not been making money, but he had a divorce as well. But it is insane to see the amount of the billionaires and how Elon Musk continues to feel his way upward. Because honestly, the Tesla has been flawed. Twitter has been, ridiculed. And SpaceX, well, I mean, come on. So, but still, he's making more money hand over
That
fist,
money.
I guess. All right, well, let's hit the reset on the FM side. Well, more Beefy presents after this. It's Rocco on 2.1 KFMA.
I gotta go to football practice.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah, go. Nice. Don't forget to hit those
you.
reps.
What reps?
I don't know. I thought you were an athlete. All right.
Bye.
Guy with the caveman in tights. He just comes in for free pizza. I get it.
That's delicious.
Bella would buy the X Games. Let's say, hey,
What
sports
would
guy.
I do with all that money, though?
Let's talk about wage equality. Okay, Todd. Hey, look, I put this piece together. Maybe it wasn't the right time to reveal that. Okay, yeah, you weren't into it.
It's a little heavy.
It is heavy. Sometimes it get heavy. Sometimes when I come across this, I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll be a journalist.
Yeah. You could.
Yeah, Anthony, I like how he's trying so hard to see his art
No,
form.
that's funny.
Is it transparent? Am I trying too hard on being an
I
art form?
think it truly is, though, so I'm in agreement with that.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, hey, is this an excuse to have women that dance on poles in studio and not be a perv about it? I'm just celebrating the arts, dude.
I would like to see you try it, though.
Yeah, well, so would a couple others, apparently. It's been proposed, and, Rico won't do it.
He won't do it?
No, he won't do it.
Oh.
He might shoot it, but, yeah. I mean, I thought about it. I hit up Chloe, and I was maybe set it up. Then she kind of ghosted a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to pull back.
Okay. I mean, yeah. You don't have to, but
Yeah. I don't want
it's
to be
fun.
misconstrued. Yeah. No, it's super fun. I want to be fit. So that's what it is. So
Oh, yeah,
instead
you're
of going
sore.
to the gym, I just start doing pole dancing. It'll be fine.
Have you been?
No, but look, dude, I got super large balls, right? I would feel like that would not benefit me and work in my favor when it comes to pole dancing. I think it would get in the way and also be problematic. Now, it's not something I'm going to
Could
ask.
you wear a Speedo?
No, I would not wear a Speedo.
I mean, because that would kind of tuck them up, right?
It wouldn't tuck them up as much. I mean, it would make them closer to my body, but it would be a mess. And with a Speedo, I'm pretty sure they would pop out too with certain angles.
What about Speedo, them tidy whities, you layered it?
If I layered it, well, yeah, then I'm just getting weird, right? So tell me you're not trying to get a boner without telling me you're not trying to get a boner, right? You just 7 layers, all right, ladies, ready to do this pole dancing class? Nothing to worry here.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got layers.
jockstrap.
Keeping shit here. Yes, I would have to wear a jock strap, but even the jock straps were always an issue with me because the way that they're designed, and rightfully so, they're like triangle shape, right? But they're triangle shape and narrow at the bottom
Wait, what are they for?
to cover your groin,
But why?
so you don't get kicked in the balls, so you don't.
Wait,
hurt
so they're padded?
No, it's a hard cup.
So
Well, a jock strap without the cup is just kind of keeping it up and tight, right? And then the cup is to protect it if you get hit in the testicles.
and it truly doesn't hurt if you wear them?
No, it can still hurt, but it still protects them. Because it was still definitely hurt getting hit directly in that area because you'll feel the pressure around it, but it won't necessarily smash a testy.
It won't. Yeah.
I got kicked in the balls once when I was
Hard.
a kid, so hard with cowboy boots. It was my best friend John's little brother Justin. It kicked me so hard that my left testicle swelled up, almost to the size of a grapefruit.
Oh man.
Yeah, and I was young. I was like 10 years old. And so my mom had to rub a cream on that testicle for, 2 weeks for it to go down. Now, here's the problem. I don't think it ever went down. I think, in my theory, that the other one just grew to the size of the swollen one, and then I've been forever cursed with the grapefruits that I have today.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a curse?
Well, it's definitely hard to do jumping
It's a bird-
jacks.
Were you a boxers or brief kind of person?
Oh, I'm boxer brief.
Boxer brief.
Yeah, dude. Like, you don't want to things be swinging and shit. You know, yeah, it ain't fun.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't fun. So I got to keep them high tight as best as I can.
Testicle Tuesday.
Yeah,
That's
Testicle
good.
Tuesday for sure. Yeah, square kick to the boys means you hit the ground immediately, and you're absolutely right. I did. I remember it. It's a forever memory. It's a core memory, trauma for sure. And fuck Justin, all together. Cowboy boots too, like right with the tip, dude. Got
Steel
me
toe?
square good. No, we didn't do
just-
steel toe back
no.
then, but it didn't matter. But I do remember the cream, the smell of the ointment, and then also the sad look of the face of my mom making eye contact with me while rubbing the cream. I mean, it's luckily. I mean, I was young. It wasn't like it was 5 years ago, because that would be weird. But it was something. I guess I was too young to apply the ointment properly myself.
Wait, because you have really early memories, right?
I do have some very early memories.
Like,
Yes.
what's the earliest? How old are you?
Earliest was when I was in New Jersey. So I moved out in Arizona when I was 4. So I have memories from New Jersey. 2, 3. A lot of them are perverted related memories, nightmare related memories, or legitimately. Because I remember my babysitter breastfeeding.
Oh, yes. Uh-huh.
Mhm. I remember sneaking out to listen to porn while my parents were watching it on the couch and like be behind there, and then the couch would creak, and I'd run back to my
This
room.
is in Jersey, so you're under 4 at this point.
Under 4, yeah.
Wow.
hmm
Wow.
I remember my mom dressing up as the Easter Bunny for this like public event,
Yes.
and then freaking out about that. I remember, a couple other things on
I
top
don't
of that.
have early memories.
Well, they say like an early childhood memory is a sign of intelligence. I
Oh,
don't-
is that so?
yeah, that's what they say.
Show me. Can I see the study?
You want to see it? I'd have to Google it. You know what? I will look it up right now, though. Let me ask ChatGPT.
Yeah, I don't
Is-
know why I don't have any early memories.
Is early childhood memories,
a sign of intelligence?
yeah, or am I just a big dummy who carries his trauma with him for his entire life? It's like, look at me, I'm so smart. Oh, I remember this time it hurt. This time it affected me for the rest of my life. No, one of my earliest memories was the nightmare of the red eyes, right? Where I was so afraid of death from an early age.
Really?
Yeah, I was terrified, and then I would have this like reoccurring nightmare that I would end up sleep running when I would have this, so sleepwalking, but I'd running, and it was basically I'm running down a dark hallway, and at the end of the dark hallway there'd be a pair of red eyes, and then I would turn around, I'd run the other way, and at the end of that hallway be a pair of red eyes staring back at me, right? And so I would have this nightmare, it'd be terrifying, but what I didn't know at the time is I was sleepwalking, and I was running during that time.
You're physically up at that time.
Physically up,
Wow.
and I would do this as a toddler. Oh, I also remember when my nipple got combed off by my little sister,
Wait,
and this was in New Jersey as
Combed
well.
off with what?
With a comb.
Wait, how do you comb off a nipple with a comb?
It's fucking possible. I'll show you. I got a fucked up nipple. Yeah. Well, you guys are learning a lot today, are you not?
Mhm.
Intelligence. Just make sure I spell intelligence correctly. I did. Thank God. Woo! Don't want to ask if you're smart by misspelling smart, huh? All right, so here's what it says. Early childhood memories can be influenced by a variety of factors, but they aren't necessarily a direct sign of intelligence. Okay, that's fair. Number 1, memory development. The ability to form long-term memories typically develops around age 3 to 4, but some can recall events from even earlier. This ability can be influenced by genetics, emotional significance of the memories, and how often the memories were discussed or reinforced. Yeah. Cognitive and emotional factors. People who have detailed early memories may have strong emotional connections to those events. Kind of makes
Okay.
sense, right? A good long-term memory or a high level of attention to detail. These traits could correlate with certain aspects of intelligence, but they aren't a definite or definitive measure of overall intelligence,
Oh, okay.
right? And then variability, right? So with that, let's see, we're about to get on the air. Memory. Rocco on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back to the show. Real quick, we're answering this question about having early childhood memories, if that's a sign of intelligence. Short answer is no. So the third tip in this, when I was asking about this variability, memory recall varies widely among individuals and is influenced by both cognitive and developmental and environmental factors. Some people with very early memories might not necessarily be more intelligent, but may have experienced particular memory or significant events. memorable or significant events. So, in summary, while having early childhood memories may indicate certain cognitive traits like good memory or emotional awareness, it is not a clear or direct indicator of emotional intelligence. So, there you go. It's not that I'm intelligent, but I'm just uber emotionally aware.
Yes.
And I've always been, since I was a child, a prodigy of emotional awareness.
You're a deep feeler for sure.
Do you feel that?
I do.
Okay, that's good. So not 100% nonsense.
No.
All right, let's go to the phone real quick. Rock 1 2.1, who's this?
Hey, it's Patrick.
What's up, Patrick?
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that a good and bad memory, or bad, I guess I should say, is a trauma response, actually.
Oh.
So good and bad memory is a trauma response. So basically what I'm outing myself is I've been traumatized since an early toddler, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that checks out, though. I mean, obviously, I've, with the path that I've went down and the lunatic that I've become, it's been nothing but a trauma response, and then me just kind of developing my personality traits and skills from those.
Around them, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yep.
Great. Now I feel terrible about myself, Patrick. I appreciate that.
Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to make you feel bad.
No,
That's all
the more
right.
you know, it's good.
Yeah, I'm like, who diddled me? Was I was it a diddle thing? No, there's other trauma. Perversion, I think it was a lot of self-inflicted trauma as well. Because like I said, I remember as a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old, vividly trying to sneak a peek of my babysitter's boob. And the curiosity and excitement of seeing a bare boob at 3 years old. So this is way before adolescence, right?
Yeah.
Now I could proudly say I'm not the creep that I am. Like the person I am today is not the creep that I was at 3, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I've matured since then.
Yes.
But obviously a lot of issues there, and always been kind of like sex obsessed.
I mean, it's kind of weird, though, seeing a boob feed a person. You know, so I could see, like, maybe you weren't even, like, obsessed with the boob, but the process itself.
Yeah, I want to, for Little Beef, to want to, like, say, yeah, you're absolutely right. It was the curiosity of the circle of life, but it wasn't. I know for a fact it wasn't. I knew the feeling that I was receiving at that time, and it was a naughty feeling. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Just know that I would kick Little Me's ass today because I'm like, you're a bad person. You grew into a decent person with boundaries and respect.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't me at 3. Trauma, huh, Patrick?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we're going to wrap things up with a beef tip after these words. Rock 1 2.1 KFMA.
I love how Patrick's just still there.
I know.
Yep.
It was good. It was good. That was a good little segment.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm watching on the stream,
I
too,
know.
so.
Yeah, I know.
Hi, Patrick. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah.
Do you have psych experience?
You asking Patrick?
I was asking Patrick, yeah, but I don't know if he's still there.
Are you still there? No. Oh, yeah, he is. Patrick, do you have psych experience? Is that it's like... Oh, you know what? I think my phone froze up. It does that. It's a digital one. You know what? I'm going to get ready for this beef tip and stuff. So why don't we continue with this morning's Tap Out with Rocco. I'll be back with more right after this. Rocco on 2.1. Why did I say that? We're on the podcast.
Call 600 KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Oh, yes. It's time for another edition of Your F My Life. These are unfortunate situations. Email to us at beefvegan@kfma.com. Subject line FML. But, of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, you can give us a call at 600 KFMA at 600-5362. We have Mari and Rocco from Rocco's Little Chicago Pizza weighing in on these F My Lives. Most of them sent in by the ladies.
Ooh.
All right, yeah. First email sent to me by Melly. She said, I got asked out for the second time in my life. Since my first date didn't go so well, I thought I might have better luck with a different guy. I had to end the date when he confessed that it was his destiny to kill his father.
Oh.
That was a rough second date. F My Life, what do you say, Rocco?
Well, if it wasn't Luke Skywalker, then yes.
Yeah, dude, it wasn't Luke Skywalker.
Of course.
Was this kid just nerding out? I know Comic-Con's like right around the corner, so he could have just been cosplaying ahead of time.
Sure.
Yeah, trying to make you his like Princess Leia. F My Life, what do you say,
Yes,
Mari?
agreed.
All right, yeah. I mean, if he isn't Luke Skywalker, then the guy's just psycho.
Right.
But totally normal if he's Luke Skywalker.
Totally.
Yeah, that's just destiny.
All right, next up, my life sent to me by Trista. Trista said, I recently won an argument against a sexist coworker. But when I left later on, I jumped into my car to drive home and managed to reverse it into a parking excavator. Guess who's going to hear virginal jokes about women drivers from now on? All right, that's my life. What do you say, Mari?
Well, it sounds like it was a good thing and then turned into a bad thing.
Yeah.
All fritzed out by emotions. So, yes, FML.
What do you say, Rocco?
Like car repairs are pretty much always FML.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the last car repair you had to pay for?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a decent car a couple of years ago. Knock on whatever.
Yeah.
This is made out of.
It's wood. Don't worry. It looks like granite, but this company can't afford granite, dude. It's wood all day. Plywood, if anything. Knock on plywood. F my life. All right. Let's see. Here's our next email sent to me by Sonia. Sonia said, my husband is sulking because I wouldn't let him do what he's always wanted to do. Oh, any guesses of what he's always wanted to do?
Kill his father?
Yeah.
No. Close, though. Throw our cat out the second floor window to see if it would land safely on all fours.
What?
Yes. So Sonia's husband sulks because she refuses to let him throw the cat out the second story window to see if it would land on all fours.
This is an interesting conversation they have on the rag.
Yeah. On the regular.
you won't let me throw the cat today.
I want to see if it's true. F my life. What do you say, Rocco?
No, this is just a weird story.
Okay. All right. Mari?
Yeah, because you're married to a cat murderer.
No, the cat will land on all fours.
Out a second story window?
Yeah.
You don't throw a cat out a second story window.
You can't do that.
Everybody knows you throw it out the first story.
It will land on all fours. They're pretty good like that. They're resilient. Any higher than 2 stories, that's when it starts getting a little dangerous, but they'll still land on all fours. Will they survive after they land on all fours? That's a whole nother thing.
How many lives did they have left?
Exactly. You got to check that before you do
the
that.
meter.
Yes. If you continue to have this discussion, then I'll definitely say F my life.
Okay.
All right, final F my life of the day sent to me by Jose. Jose said, this weekend in an effort to save money, I attempted to paint my own house. Instead, I fell off the ladder and broke my dominant arm. Now I can't work, brush my teeth, or even wipe. My house is half painted with stuff everywhere, and I have 6 weeks to recover.
Yeah, I'm giving it to you this time, pal.
Yeah, without hesitation.
The wipe part just put it over the edge.
you were all in as soon as you heard that. Yeah. The half painted house, whatever. You can't wipe. I mean, that's brutal. For 6 weeks. Stay away from Jose. F my life.
Absolutely.
Those are good. Keep those emails coming, beefeating@kfma.com. And speaking of which, Jose, I'm going to email you back and hook you up with a pair of tickets for something. All right, so that was F my life here with Rocco. It was always a pleasure having Rocco in because we get all that pizza, and then we get like in a cheese coma. Unfortunately, it's not Weirdo on the stream. It's Mari on the computer. I know.
don't want to log into my own because I don't even know how to do that. So it's just her. It's just like a little ode to Weirdo.
Yes. Yeah, Weirdo will be back here eventually. I haven't talked to her recently, but she's staying busy, and we wish her the best. And we know that Weirdo will come back before we know it. So for the end of the year, I'm sure we'll hear Weirdo play with us at some point in time. So shout out to Weirdo, and I know that she is teaching how to do like eyelashes.
Oh yeah, she's awesome at it.
Yeah, so she's teaching that as for part of Rustics, and that's a full-blown thing on top of being a hairstylist, on top of all this stuff. The only thing that upset me about Weirdo stepping away from the show is that she got rid of the dreadlocks after.
She did?
Yeah, and she looks fantastic too.
I bet.
I know, dude, because I was just like, you look like Jonathan Davis, and that's not like the best look all the time.
Hey, she has short hair now.
No, not short hair, just long, straight, and yeah, she looks good. Wow, so shout out Weirdo. And it's not even a beef tip because she get the whole thing with that straight hair.
No.
No, sorry. No wonder she left. No, I'm just kidding. Your beef tip is, does it help having a base tan? Does that protect you from sun damage? When you go on vacation to like the beach, do you work on getting your base tan first and then not worry about that?
Yeah.
It's always good to have a tan, but the short answer is no.
Oh.
Yeah, it might be like wearing SPF 4 at best. So technically a base tan means you already have sun damage. And dermatologists say you should still wear at least SPF 30 to mitigate the risks. Now, any dermatologist will tell you any tan's a bad tan, but you know what? They never seen you in a bathing suit without a tan. So it might be worth the risk, but don't forget to load up on the SPF 30 even if you have a tan. That's your beef tip.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Tomorrow morning is going to be a super packed show. Hope to join you then. Until then, Robin Nash is up next. Enjoy the rest of your day. Drive safe, ride safe, and as always, rock local. Later.
When you wish upon a side of beef, soon will
All right, there you go. Barely got creepy at the end. Barely.
A little bit.
Yeah. Tried to talk politics with billionaires. That was a fail. Talked about my trauma.